Hi, my name is Bakdaulet. I'm an English language teacher. Today we're going to finish our first module dedicated to the English alphabet. If you haven't seen the previous videos, I strongly recommend you to. Okay, so if you remember, we stopped at the letter P last time, which means that today we will begin with the letter Q. Letter Q is quite an interesting part of English language because it gives really unique vibes to it and has a unique feature which you will recognize simply by looking at these words. Quiet, quiet, Q, qualify, quality, quantity. Have you noticed something? Exactly, it always goes with you, and together they give us qu sound in 9 words out of 10, just like Colgate Expert. There are some minor exceptions such as bouquet or clique, boutique, where it's not qu but just k sound. Otherwise, that's it about Q. Now, R in English is one big captivating story, yet, as always I do in my videos, I will simplify it so that you do not get bothered and or bored with overwhelming information. However, if you want more of depth, you can express that in comments and I will do a separate video. So let's start with the term rhoticity. If put shortly, rhoticity is a quality of a language when R before consonants and at the end of the words is pronounced. American English, for example, is generally rhotic, that is, R is always pronounced. So, these words will be read as car, heart, better. On the other hand, in many accents of British and Australian language, the R is not pronounced before consonants and at the end of the words. So same words will sound like car, hard, better. However, even in non-rhotic accents, R reappears when followed by a vowel, so it will be a car engine. Okay, S is a letter which can give us several sounds. S sound like in silent, serious, since, second. Z sound like in is, rose, because. Sh sound like in suspension, tension, sure, sugar, mission, and even J sound like in decision, precision, and television. Also, you must get acquainted with one of the most consistent rules of pronunciation regarding final S. So memorize after voiceless p, t, k, f, s, we get voiceless s sound. So cap, caps, cat, cats, book, books, cliff, cliffs, myth, myths. Okay? On the other hand, when S is added to the words that end with voice sounds like p, d, g, v, z, n, al, then we get voices sound like in lap, labs, bed, beds, bag, bags, glove, gloves, base, bases, room, rooms, pen, pens, ring, rings, bell, bells, car, cars. And after sibilants, that is those sounds that kinda are whistling like s, z, sh, j, ch, j. We get additional e inserted and as a result we get is sound. So bus, buses, quiz, quizzes, wish, wishes, garage, garages, watch, watches, judge, judges. T can become tricky too, but we will look at only 4 most significant for beginners especially, sounds such as true T, bipolar T, quick T, and silent T. So true T is when we hear an aspirated T sound, like in words top, table, attack, etc. Here, aspirated T means that T isn't just pronounced, but it also has some power to it, like in T sound, okay? Next is bipolar T, or what in linguistics is called flat T. It's something that you can hear in American English in particular. Better, city, party. Here you can notice that we do not have that usual T, but something else, more resembling a fast D sound, and that's the reason why I personally call it bipolar. Next, we have quick T, when it appears for a mere instant and then disappears. Consider mountain, button, and written. Now finally, when we do not pronounce T, of course that is called silent T. In words like listen, castle, hustle, and even moisten, we write T but never pronounce it. U is a pretty nice guy giving us several clear sounds. Like in cut, gut, shut, umbrella, up, ugly, ultimate. Then U sound like in university, unity, ubiquitous. And U sound like in put, true, blue, etc. V is just another chill guy, be it leave, very, vest, vigor, just wherever it is, always pronounce it. Okay, now last four of the alphabet are actually the easiest, I must say. Look for instance at W. It's a W sound which we hear in words like we, water, win, away, which, what, why, but we do not hear it in who, whose, right, wrong, wrist, answer. X is more interesting but still totally comprehensible. Take a look at the words box, next, fix. We hear x sound, but it's not exum, it's exum. Same applies to exist, exact. Here we hear x sound, but be careful with the following words because it's not xylophone, it's xylophone. It's not xenophobia because it's xenophobia. Okay? Now let's move on. Y in English is the one who can serve both as a consonant and as a vowel. Consider my, fly, try, happy, trophy, and compare it with yes, yellow, yacht. And now finally Z, the one that completes the alphabet. Z is one strong sound, be it a zoo, zero, lazy, crazy, buzz, it's always stable and firm. So now officially we can say that alphabet is done. At least for the starters, this should suffice. Of course, we can delve into the stuff way deeper, and we will obviously later on, but for now, I want to move to something else. So, thank you for listening to the whole video. We'll be happy for any reactions, be it likes, comments, subscriptions, and especially donations through paypal.me/Mr. Bakdaulet. See you in my next video and bye.